What's good? It is Sam here, and today I want to talk about Melanotan 2 and HCG. By the way, if you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comment sections. If I have something to say, or if it is something that I've tried before, I'm happy to share my experience with you guys. I'm just trying to provide value here. So I want to talk about Melanotan 2 and my experience trying that while I was using that in Hawaii, and my experience with using HCG. So with that being said, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you who are returning, it is good to freaking see you. I hope you guys are doing well with all the craziness that is happening in the economy right now and the virus and shit. So we're going to start with Melanotan 2. I've lived in Hawaii twice, and the second time I lived in Hawaii, I lived there by myself, and I took Melanotan 2. I don't remember exactly the dose that I took, because that was in 2015, 2016 when I did take that, but I did not experience any of the flushing in terms of the face or where you do the injection. I didn't experience that. I did not experience any vomiting or nausea associated with doing the injection. I didn't experience any spontaneous erections whatsoever. Those are some of the things that other people have experienced. I did not experience those at all. I was actually kind of looking forward to the spontaneous erections. That did not happen. But to just play it safe, I was working for the government at the time, and I would take the injections on Friday just to play it safe. And then I never actually had any spontaneous erections, so I ended up just switching back to a regular injection schedule. I think I did it twice a week. Until I ran out of the Melanotan 2. I only took that one vial that I did have. One of the things that I did notice with it was that when I would go out to the pool, so I'm in Hawaii, and the apartment that I have is on the beach. So the apartment complex has a pool, but it's also on the beach. So I can go to the beach or the pool. And when I would go out to the pool or the beach, it was almost like you were giving, if you've ever taken steroids or SARMs and you notice how quickly you're able to actually get gains in terms of muscle, or like the strength gains you're able to get through taking a compound like that. By the way, none of this is any recommendation that you fucking do any of the fucking shit I talk about in these videos whatsoever. Do your own research. This is strictly for entertainment purposes, and it is under my doctor's supervision. It is almost like taking a SARM or a steroid for muscle or strength gains, but for tanning. So what I mean by that is that the Melanotan like supercharges how quickly you could get tan. I would go out, say, for very short periods of time, but it was almost like that I spent several hours out in the sun in terms of the color difference that I would get from this. I never experienced any nausea, never experienced any like spontaneous erections. I never experienced any flushing, none of that shit at all. I probably went up maybe just marginally, and I don't remember what the recommended or like the normal dosage for Melanotan 2 is, but I never went much above that. So maybe the people who are experiencing some of these side effects, and just on a complete tangent, a lot of people think of side effects as completely negative. But you can have positive side effects and you can have negative side effects. So you don't always think about side effects as negative, because there's actually some benefits to certain side effects. Actually have benefits. So like with testosterone, an increase in libido is a side effect. Is that positive? Is that negative? spontaneous erections with Melanotan too. Is that positive or is it negative? It depends on your POV, your point of view. So I didn't experience any of those whatsoever when I was taking it, but I did notice that every single time I would go out in the sun, it was like a supercharged. Like if you were taking, if you were natural and then you just started taking, say 400 milligrams of testosterone every week, it was like that, where you would get these tremendous gains from taking 400 milligrams of testosterone every week from being natural, but it was, instead of getting muscle and pumps and losing some body fat, instead of having that happen, what would happen would be that I would just get more fucking tan. Other than that, it wasn't like, I would definitely take it again. I definitely wouldn't be opposed to taking that again. I'll probably, if depending on how things work out, and I just got into the new apartment, so thumbs up for that. But I wouldn't be opposed to trying some of that again as the weather gets warm out, and as if I'm going to be spending any time out in the sun, I definitely wouldn't be opposed to working with some of that again. In the future. But the next, somebody actually had asked you a question about my experience with HCG. So HCG is fun. HCG is almost like, from the experiences that I've taken it, and I've taken it probably 2 to 4 times, somewhere in the neighborhood, like 2 to 4 times. Probably I would say 3 to 4 times. Because I know I've taken it at least 2 times, and I don't remember if I've taken it any other times. But immediately, so you take your injection, and you'll have to look up what the dosage, the normal dosage is. And this is not a recommendation that you do any of what I do, or that you take HCG. Like, don't be a fucking moron. But the HCG, you take your injection, and it's probably like 250 micrograms or something. Within maybe 24 hours, for me, I got a tremendous increase in my libido. And I've taken that when I was not on any testosterone, and then I've taken it when I've been on testosterone. And what ends up happening, so what is HCG? It basically increases your luteinizing hormone and your FSH, which is your follicle stimulating hormone or something like that. So basically how much producing your sperm and producing testosterone. So when I take it and I'm on SARMs, so I don't have a testosterone base and I'm just taking SARMs by themselves, and I take HCG, I have a big increase in my libido in terms of sex drive. Like, I'm just getting fucking erections all the time. You're just horny all the time. You're looking at fucking Instagram and you're like, fucking, she's hot, and you're fucking, you know what I mean? You're just doing that. And the same exact thing happens, but probably to 70% of that when on testosterone. So if you're on testosterone for a little while, at least for me, your balls shrink up a little bit because your body sees that you're taking exogenous or external testosterone, so it doesn't need it doesn't need to increase testosterone. It doesn't need to continue to produce testosterone. So what ends up happening is your body tells your pituitary to produce less LH, and you don't produce as much testosterone. Excuse me. And as soon as I would take HCG, why would you take HCG? Why would you take a synthetic LH or FSH while you're on testosterone? Is just to keep your balls full, essentially, just to keep your shit fucking working. And every single time I've taken it, when and remember, I've only taken it like 2 to 4 times. Every time I've taken HCG when I've been on testosterone, I also get the same increase in my libido. The thing that's a little bit different for me that I've noticed is that if I was to say on SARMs versus testosterone for some length of time, and I were to add in HCG, I get the effect in terms of increasing my libido for man, I fucking gassed tonight. For the libido is almost a little bit lagged with SARMs. You're probably suppressed, so the effect is much faster, at least for me. So probably within 24 hours. With testosterone, it tends to, for me, be closer to like the 48-hour mark, or like 24 to 48 hours is when my libido really ramps up. Like you're, say, some baseline, and then you just have like a fucking, almost like a 90-degree angle, but like slightly up. Slightly not 90-degree angles. In terms of the increase of like you're just horny all the fucking time, for me. In terms of the my balls size, because I'm sure that's fucking super interesting to everybody. No, I would say increase a little bit, but not tremendously. I'll probably get some soon, probably relatively soon. So if you guys want to follow along with that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to jump over to Instagram, I post a lot more stuff, and you can check out the profile according to YouTube's terms of service. I'm not supposed to leave any source links down below for things that are risky, so you can jump over to Instagram and check out the profile view over there, if you know what I'm saying. And I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to press that subscribe button and that bell notification so YouTube can notify you every time I post a video. If you guys have questions, let me know. I'm happy to talk about my experience if it is something that I have experience with. Peace. Appreciate you guys. Peace.